Here, and welcome to a special episode of the Midnight Mentor. That's right, it's been a while since I've done a Midnight Mentor session, and I'm really excited about doing this with you tonight. Tonight I have an agenda. I want to smoke a cigar with you because it's something I've been kind of getting into a little bit recently. I went to the Dominican Republic on a vacation recently, and I bought a couple cigars, and wouldn't you know, I really enjoyed. That's not the first time I've had cigars, but it's been a while. So I hope you're ready to just kind of have a good time with me tonight. We're going to talk about real estate a lot. We're going to jump right into things pretty quickly. But yes, definitely this is an episode of the Midnight Mentor. And thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I hope you get a lot out of tonight. Tonight, we're going to do a few things. I'm gonna introduce myself here in a minute. Kind of already am. And then secondly, we're gonna light a cigar. We're gonna talk about cigars just briefly. And then we're gonna get into talking about real estate, and in specific, creative real estate, and in more specific, failed listings. Because there's a lot of failed MLS or expired listings out there. And this is a great source of deals for me and my business, always has been. And I can tell you that I'm going to share with you tonight the technique that I use to get my phone ringing. That's right. Now, a lot of things we talk about in creative real estate are like, how do we do outbound stuff, outbound marketing? Well, tonight I'm going to show you a simple and effective, very effective method for getting your phone to ring with motivated sellers. Okay, so after that, we're going to open up the room a little bit and let you guys ask some questions. You can probably ask some questions anyway right off the bat. If you'd like, we'll open up the chat that way. Thanks to everybody that's watching right now. I see 4 people watching. Really informal. We're just hanging out tonight. We're going to talk about you. And then if we have time, we'll do some more entertainment. And then I've got a freebie book offer for you. You can pick up a book of mine. I've written several books, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. And this is the one I want to give away tonight, right here. It is the How to Get Started with No Money Marketing. Hey, it's good to see Mr. Thinker out there. What's going on, man? It's great to see you out there. Mr. Thinker, he's already chiming in. Hey, God bless you, dude. Thanks for being here. All right, so that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to give away this book as well to as many people as want it. What I want you to do, if you're inclined to, is throughout the evening, text me your name. And this is really my phone number. I just put it on the screen. Text me your name, and we will get right to sending you the free book. But first things first, I'm Justin Chamness, and you guys know that, but I am a creative real estate and sales coach. I have been doing real estate since 2001, not successfully. Not successfully. I didn't have any success until 2005. And in 2005, I started having success, and I hit it really good that year. I got 10 deals that first year. And so the things in that book that I'm giving away tonight actually are techniques that I did starting in 2005, and they still work today. And that's how I got the deals that I got for the most part, by and large. Okay. Well, but I struggled after that also. You probably can relate if you've been trying to do real estate for very long. It's kind of tough to get it going. And then I got stupid after, if maybe you relate. I got stupid after I got it going. And then I didn't do any more deals for a long time. And so it wasn't until it was 2005 when I got my first deals. And then after that, it was probably like 2010, I kind of got stupid. And then in 2014, I picked up again. And so I really started doing the things that are in this book that I'm giving away. So that's how I did it originally, and that's how I did it the second time. So I don't know if you can relate. If you can, go ahead and put that in the chat that you relate and that you've gotten stupid. Uh, it's good to see the CEO here. What's up, man? It's good to see you. And tonight we're going to smoke a cigar. This is a Black Abyss cigar. I don't know if you've ever seen the Black Abyss cigars, or if, I have mostly a male channel. There's women that are in my coaching program. There's women that watch, but for the most part, there's a lot of guys. And so I don't know. I think of cigars as kind of a guy thing usually. Girls can do it, but there's probably a lot of girls that do. But this is a Black Abyss. And so I'm going to fire up this bad boy. You can see this is actually, we're going to talk a little bit about cigars too, and then we're going to get into the failed listings, how to do failed listings. But you can see this is on camera number 2. This is actually a torpedo. That's what they call that because it kind of looks like a torpedo. I'm not an aficionado, okay? Like I don't really know a lot about cigars, but I do know a few things. And I do know that I'd like to take this bottom paper off, this bottom wrapper. And then we'll talk a little more about this particular brand of cigar. And we'll torch it and enjoy it. And we'll share a little more about it also as we do that. All right. So hold on, and I'll throw up some info on the screen here about this particular cigar. There it is at the bottom of the screen. This is what they call a 6x52. That's the size. And we're going to have to snip the bottom here. So I've got just a straight, regular, straight cut snip here for a cigar. Now you can get cigar snips that are, they cut a kind of a V shape, and that's pretty cool too. I have one of those. And then they have... actually, I've got one here on my desk. And then they have this that actually pokes a hole in it also, if you want to. That's because it's sealed here at the end, so you can't really get much through there. So you got to snip the end. Here's one of these V ones. Let me see if it'll show the actual V. Do you see how that's kind of got a V? It's got a trench in it. Okay, that's actually for cutting a little... I think the young guys like that, but I'm not sure. But this is the straight. This is the straight. Now you do not want to put your little brother's finger in there, and then make him a freak. Okay, he freak out. All right, so I've just got the very tip of it in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. Okay, cool. And now let's just let's do what's yeah, see I can pull air through it better now. So it's got the tip missing. Just the tip. It's not Jewish, but it is practice for a circumcision. This particular cigar comes from the Dominican Republic. That's what's called a cold draw. So the reason I'm doing that is a couple reasons. One is I want to wet the end here so that the tobacco wrap doesn't tear. But then also, I just want to get kind of a taste of the flavor before I light it. And it's nice. I think I'm going to enjoy this one. So let me go ahead and torch it up. And like I said, I'm not an expert at cigars, but I have had a few. Now, what I'm doing is just heating up the end here. I'm kind of spinning it, as you see. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and finish lighting it here. And you can see it's lit. Okay. So far, very nice. This is a torch lighter. A lot of people like to do matches. That's great too. Some people like to use like a Bic lighter, and that's okay. They say it can give it a little bit of a foul taste at first. So there's that. I've got a fan blowing on me over here, so I hope it's not making the microphone rumble too bad. Very nice. Very nice cigar. You don't inhale cigars. That's one thing I like about them. Um, I used to be a smoker, like a real smoker. Uh, I used to smoke cigarettes, and I gave up cigarettes because cigarettes are bad for you. They were killing me actually, and I did vaping the whole 9 yards. And vaping got really rough on me too, my health. And so it's kind of nice to enjoy a little bit of tobacco without inhaling it, into my lungs. You don't inhale these into your lungs. What you do is you just pull it into your mouth. All right. Yeah, the CEO says he's got to get off vapes. I totally understand where you're coming from, CEO. It's funny that we develop bad habits. I think that's a human trait. Now, it might be the hardest thing to keep this lip tonight because this is my first night doing this on camera. But yeah, I guess this is a Dominican Republic cigar. I went to the Republic recently. It says it has a rich Corojo binder covered by a dark, oily San Andres, Andres. That's my middle name, Andre. So you'd think I would have a better pronunciation. Yeah, I'm having a hard time keeping this. Actually, let me snip a little more off the end. Maybe that's part of it. I didn't snip enough, perhaps. Mm, there we go. Much, much better. Yeah, I do taste some notes of the chocolate with the wood and the coffee. Not picking up much cinnamon. But let's take a look here. I'm going to share screens quickly and show you San Andres. Look at this beautiful place. Um, this is it right here. They're flashing pictures. It's a city in Colombia. The rapper from San Andres, which means, I'm assuming in Spanish, Saint Andrew. Boy, it looks like paradise. It's like taking a trip around the world, having a cigar. That's one thing I like about it a lot. Eight one six 875 6961. 875 is the middle numbers. I don't know if anybody out there has a cigar they're wanting to enjoy, but I'm sure enjoying this one. Somebody just texted the wrong person. You put the number in wrong because I don't write very good. San Andres looks like a place I would like to go. Let me ask you, what are your goals? What are your dreams? Would you like to go to a place like San Andres? I just came back from the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and they're beautiful like this. Very beautiful like this. So, where was the last time you went somewhere like that? Maybe you haven't been. Maybe that's your goal. I want to look at something. Actually, let's go back there. I'm going to set the cigar down for now. And let's look up flights. Wow. Pretty cheap. Pretty cheap. I mean, your dreams aren't that far off, are they? If this is one of them, going places like this, look, it's not that expensive. One deal. One deal away. One deal away. Let me show you a deal that one of my students just did. I'm real proud of them. They've been working with me for about 6 months. Let me share screens again, and I'll go to a different place. And then we'll share screens. This is a property. They've been working with me for about 6 months. They just got this one under contract. I'm real proud of them. Real proud of them. You notice this is a pretty house. This is not an ugly house. I'm not known to be the ugly house wholesaler. I'm actually known to be the pretty house wholesaler. So I use creative real estate techniques. And like I said, I haven't always been great at it. I struggled for a long time. And let me tell you the difference between struggling and doing something great is having somebody that's done it tell you what to do, what to say. And once you know what to do and what to say, just doing it. Isn't this a pretty house? You guys want to hear the details on this one? This one's 311,000. If you got a tenant buyer down here in Forney, Texas, congrats to Alec and Christina for getting this one under contract. Great job, guys. This is the first of many great properties. This one here is 311,000, which really isn't bad nowadays. And not only that, it's 1,900 a month rent, which is not bad nowadays either. Well, there you go. Look, I mean, here we go, right here. Let me show this. If that's your market, bro, then yeah, hook us up with a tenant buyer and make some cash in your pocket. All right? I mean, how nice of a property deal is that? All right. So 1900 a month is not that bad. And one deal like that could put enough money in your pocket to allow you to go to places like San Andres. I don't know. I wish I was better with the whole language dialect thing. But as it stands, I'm a hillbilly American. All right. I'm a husband and I'm a father. And I'm also a real estate guy. I'm a coach because I believe in one-on-one mentoring. That's what I was saying. That's how you really start getting better at this stuff. Is you really just start. You find somebody that's done it, and you start doing what they say, and start saying what they say, and doing what they say. All right, and that's really what made the difference for me. That and a lot of trial and error. A lot of trial and error. Okay. But you can get deals like that. And I expect the assignment fee on that wholesale deal to be somewhere around 25, not $25, but 25,000, maybe 20. And so, yeah, I mean, you can see how this is something that I love because it's how you can create money and pull it right out of thin air. Right out of thin air. Okay. It's what it feels like to me. All right. So let's jump into a segment talking about real estate a little bit more. And I'm going to share with you my prop stream. And as I share prop stream with you, you'll notice that this is exactly what PropStream looks like. Let's find a city, just any city. I'm going to randomly pick Memphis, Tennessee. Everybody knows where that is. And you can see it pulls up lots of data about Memphis, Tennessee. And this is what you should be doing, actually, if you are serious about this business, especially in your local market. Because there are tons and tons of motivated homeowners out there right now. Not only that, but there are literally tons and tons and tons of motivated realtors out there. Okay, motivated realtors. So you can make offers to realtors. Okay. I showed a deal recently on Facebook and in my private coaching chat room. And right now, actually, I'm running kind of a special for folks over the age of 50 or retired, or if you were a cop, or if you are still a cop or active duty military, or you were active duty military at some point, and or you're over 50. And the reason why is because times are tight, times are tough, and I find that this is a group of people that really want to create more opportunities for themselves. So I'm running a little special on my coaching program for those folks. But you can see here in Memphis, Tennessee, there's a bunch of stuff here. Okay, well, let's whittle it down a little bit. I'm going to go up here to the word filter. I'm going to click filter. And you see it drops down a bunch of different options for me. All right, if I click this button, there's a lot of options. On market properties, which I just said you could work with realtors, right? So you could definitely make offers to properties that are on the MLS. Vacant properties with liens, that could be mechanics liens, tax liens, any kind of lien. Pre-foreclosures, that's a big deal, right? This means that it hasn't sold, it hasn't been taken back by the bank yet. It wasn't sold on the courthouse steps yet, but they've gotten a Liz Pennons or a notice of default from the bank. Auction properties, bank-owned properties are sitting ducks. Now, this is probably not for you if you're dead broke, okay? Because you got to have a little money to make the offer. You got to have earnest money. But there's so many people out there right now on Facebook trying to make offers on properties and getting earnest money from other people. So you could definitely do this if you had a mind to. Okay. And I've got a course on that too that my coaching students can watch if they want. Cash buyers, you can find those here. High equity homes. Okay. Free and clear properties. Bankruptcies. Wow. Okay. Bankruptcies are big because a lot of times they have to sell the house. Divorce is a big deal because a lot of times they have to sell the house. And a lot of times these are pretty houses. Okay. Tax delinquencies, flippers, failed listings. That's the next one. Failed listings. They're senior owners, vacant land, tired landlords, zombie properties, and pre-probate. Okay. Deceased owners. Okay. But let's focus right now on failed listings. I'm going to click failed listings. Now that's not enough. Okay. That's not enough to just click failed listings. You see, it's thinking and it's going to pull up a whole boatload of properties. It's pulled up 10,306 properties, but I'm here to tell you that those properties are going back to something like 2004. Okay. And that's not going to do you any good. Okay. I don't know. It might be 2002 or 2003. I don't know. Some of these are really, 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 really old. Okay. And you don't need to deal with the really old ones. You just want the newest or the most recent failed listing. So here's how you get that. And I want to show you how you set this up on your prop stream so that it'll let you know when anything new pops up that hits your paradigm here. Okay. So if you choose failed listings and you go down here to these filters right here and you click the MLS status list right here, and you bring that down. All right. What you want to do is you want to find here on market, yes, no, any. Okay. That's fine. You could put no if you don't want to talk to realtors, but like I said, you can talk to realtors. Now, why would you want to put any there? The answer is because if this was on the MLS and then it failed and then it was relisted, how motivated do you think they are? How motivated do you think that realtor is knowing this is the second go around? Okay, listing type, for sale, for rent, or any. All right, MLS status. I'm going to, you don't need to, but I'm going to go ahead and reaffirm that I want just the failed listings. MLS date, status date. All right, I'm going to go back. It says May 24, which is where we are today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go back 6 months. And then I'm going to select, let's see, today is the 19th of May. Let's just go back straight up 6 months. And then I'm going to leave the future date here, right? So you can select a time frame going back 6 months and then leave this one open so that any will apply. So what we're getting now is we're getting everything from 6 months ago up till today and anything that pops on in the future. Okay, hopefully that makes sense to you. All right, now when I've done that, you see, instead of having 10,000 records, I've got 962. 962. Do you think we ought to hit them up? If you want to do deals in Memphis, Tennessee, the answer is obvious, and there's nothing in the world wrong with that. All right. Now, some of these are relisted and some of them are not relisted. CEO says he just started doing some direct to agent outreach last week because he's been mostly just going to off-market properties. Okay, that's fine. Nothing in the world wrong with that, but you can totally hit up realtors nowadays. And that's good news, CEO. Thanks for doing that. I'm glad you're doing that. It's going to be good for you. Now, some of you might be asking, well, What do I say? I'm all nervous talking to a realtor. Don't be nervous. Remember, these are failed listings, so these are pretty motivated, typically pretty motivated realtors too. All right. And instead of saying like you would if you were going, if you're, let's say you were going for a lease option, instead of sending out a message or something like that to the homeowner that says, would you consider a 24-month lease and us purchasing, or 36-month lease and us purchasing during that time frame at your asking price or at full market value, something like that, or near full market value. Instead of that, you just ask the realtor the same question. You'll just say something like, hey, would your client consider a 36-month lease and selling during that time frame at their or near their asking price? Okay, something like that. All right. So look what's happened is 962 have popped up. So that whittled it down pretty good for me. Instead of 10,000, there's 962. Now here's a very important tip. All right. I want you to go up here and hit this big orange button on the top right of PropStream that says save search. Okay. Now, when you save this search, it's going to ask you to name it. And I want you to say something like failed MLS listings, Memphis, Tennessee. And if you got any more details, you might write that down here. Also like on market and for sale by owner or off market. Okay. That way you remember what your filter selections were. Okay. Include on home screen and replace. I don't want to do that because that will make it one of, see these big buttons up here at the top? That will turn it into one of these buttons. And this is not something that I want to come back to really. I really don't want to come back to this search. And I'll show you why. Because this last selection down here on the bottom says email when new properties become available. Never, immediately, daily, or weekly. I want you to choose immediately email you when new properties become available and then hit save. Okay. Now, I've already done this in my local market, and so I don't want to do it here in Memphis because Memphis is not my market. I'm just showing you Memphis as an example because Memphis is a great place to do business. And you can see there's lots of opportunities here in Memphis. So if you select immediately or at least daily or weekly, you're going to get notifications when new failed listings in the area of your choice pop in, and you'll get the email and you'll be able to see immediately, oh, okay, I've got 7 new expired listings. Okay. All right, 7 new ones, let's just say. Okay, so let me show you what I do, because you might be like, well, that's great and all, but how do I reach out to these people? And really the answer is simple. It's as simple as it can possibly be, and you can do it. All right, now what I have here is, you can see just yellow ruled legal pad. All right, this is going to turn into 8. What is it? 8.5 by 11. Is that the normal size of sheet of paper? 8.5 by 11. Now, I got this from Amazon, and you can see that these tear off really nice and clean at the top. Okay. You see how that tears off nice and clean at the top? So it's just a nice regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. All right. So what you'll do is you'll write your message, and I want you to write your message in red ink. Okay. If possible, you can do blue. Black is okay. There's nothing wrong with black, but if you can write it, and I don't think I have my red or blue. Well, I think I have a blue pen here. This might be a blue one. I don't normally do it at this desk, but you'll want to write on, instead of this, you'll want to write on a white sheet of paper. Okay. So you got a blank white sheet of paper. I want you to write your message. Hi, my name is Justin. Okay, Justino, and I like cigars from the Dominican Republic. Hi, my name is Justin. I saw your property. I saw your property for sale. I don't know if it's still available. All right, that's how we start. Hi, my name is Justin. I saw your property for sale. I don't know if it's still available. And it can be a little messy. It's okay. The more authentic you can get this, the better. Okay. And now I want you to ask your creative real estate question. All right. And you might be going for subject to, okay, or you might be going for lease options, or you might be going for just whatever. Okay. I like to lead in with a lease option question because that's the easiest thing for a homeowner to understand and say yes to. Okay. But if you're going for a subject to, you might say something like, hey, if we were to take the house over, would you allow us to continue making your mortgage payments until we can pay you off? Okay. That would be like a subject to question. But if you follow my instructions to do lease options, you'll say something like I said earlier, and I'm not going to make you wait while I write it all down on this white sheet of paper. It would be something like, would you consider leasing the place for 36 months and selling it during that time frame for full market value or close to full market value? And then I want you to sign off here. One of your neighbors, Justin. And then your phone number, 816-875-6961. Okay. One of your neighbors, Justin. Okay. You want to put the question. Okay. So it'll read something like this. Hi, my name is Justin. I saw your property for sale. I don't know if it's still available, but would you consider leasing the property for 36 months and selling it during that time frame for near full market value? One of your neighbors, Justin. And my phone number. All right. Now, you notice this has no property specific or homeowner specific information in it. So what you've created here is a template. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this particular white sheet of paper and put it in a copy machine or scan it into your computer, okay? And then I want you to take that yellow legal pad that you have, and I want you to rip all of the sheets out that you need. Let's say you're going to do 7 today. I want you to rip 7 out. Usually you'll get somewhere between maybe 10 and 25 or something if you're doing this on the regular, okay? Start sending these out on the regular like this, and your phone will always ring, all right? It will always ring. Every time I do this, the phone rings for me, okay, with homeowners. Now, when you tear out, oh, see, I didn't tear that one very good. That'll still work, though. When you tear out this yellow sheet of paper, you can stuff these into the printer or into the copy machine where the white paper normally goes, and it will suck it through and print on it, okay? So it's going to print or copy in that blue or red ink, and it will look, I promise you this, when you're done printing on it, it will look like you hand wrote each copy, but you didn't. You only wrote one, okay? So that's a quick tip for you. And then I want you to take the letters that you've made, stuff them in an envelope, and I want you to write on the envelope the address of the seller, which you're going to get off PropStream here. And then I want you to put as the return address, the initial of your first name. So in the return address part of the envelope, I put J. Chamness. Okay. I don't put my company name because I don't want this to be thrown away immediately. Okay. I want this to appear like I'm one of their neighbors or someone that they might know or care to know. Okay. You might even put on the return address section your neighbor, Jay Chamness. Don't put Jay Chamness, put yours, okay? And when you do that, mail these out, put a first class stamp on it, which is going to cost what, 65 cents or something crazy now? All right. So once you do that, put them in the mail, and the day, I promise you, the day and the day after these land, your phone will start to ring. Uh-oh. Okay. You've got to be prepared. So that's what I was talking about, how important it is to have a mentor or a coach or somebody that can totally help you when it comes to what to say and what to do. All right. Now that is just one technique that this cigar has gone out. I'm just going to gently roll that and break that off. This cigar seems very wet. It's hard to keep it lit tonight. So I'm going to have to relight it. It was going out even while I was puffing on it. So, and that's okay. Let me relight this and I'll puff on it a little more. Yeah, Dominican Republic. What's it say? Something about Cuban tobacco in there too? It's got a good flavor. It's very mild, pretty mild. Some tobacco cigars can be pretty stout. Yeah, definitely. This one's very nice though, very mild. I recommend, this is a Black Abyss. So if you like cigars and you're interested in trying a Black Abyss, I would recommend it. Definitely. But what's your dream destination? We were talking about that. It's fun hanging out with you, by the way. I'm glad you're hanging out with me. I hope you learned something about doing failed MLS listings. Now, if you're interested in learning more, you can text me your name at 816-875-6961. And I'll send you this book. It's a good book. It's actually really pretty long too. It's, I think, 60 something pages. And what it does is it covers 3 different major topics. One is coho sailing. The second one is doing straight ugly house stuff. And then the third one is doing lease option pretty house stuff. And I recommend you do all of the above. And so I'll send you this book for free if you text me your name. All right, text me your name. Text me your name. All right, so we've had quite a few people talking in the chat here. I don't know if you guys are still with me or not, but if you want to put something in the chat, let's go ahead and do that. And let's open up the chat room for talking. If you want to talk, you want to ask questions, you have comments about cigars. Are there any cigar lovers out there? I'm going to definitely smoke another cigar next week at Midnight Mentor. I'm going to do this every week for probably a couple months, maybe. I've been on 2 vacations this year already. About to take a third here sometime. That's why I say I'm going to do this probably for a couple months. There we go. It's smoking a lot easier now, and that's good. I like the lighter flavored ones. Next week, I'm probably gonna fire up a Valencia, which is from Honduras, or I might fire up a Venezuelan cigar. One thing I like about cigars is you take time. Okay. You know, when I was working as a bartender, when I was stupid, not doing real estate deals, I would go out and have a cigarette, and that's 7 minutes. If you're talking to somebody, that's 10 minutes. But a cigar can take an hour even. Or maybe even longer. I don't know, depending on how much you're talking and enjoying it. But how often you puff on it and so on and so forth. But this is a pretty good sized cigar, but you can see I've smoked quite a bit of it, really. I'm a big puffer. Like Puff Daddy, but different. I'm a different Puff Daddy because that guy, he beats his girlfriend. Isn't that crazy? Did y'all see the video? I'll tell you one thing. Women can get under your skin. But that doesn't give you a license to treat them like they're a punching bag. That's for sure. Now, if you're a big shot and you got lots of money and you think you can do anything, I guess you're just, I don't know, stupid. Because it's not working out for Puff Daddy now. How much of a big shot are you when everybody's gunning for you? You're never too big. You're never so big. Somebody can't bring you down. Speaking of which, and I know we're just hanging out. What do you think about this Mike Tyson and what's his name? I don't even want to say his name. Mike Tyson, what is it? In June or July? I don't know. I'm not going to miss it. I want him to win. I want Mike Tyson to win because Mike Tyson was he was the scary boxing monster of my time coming up. Like, you really don't think anybody can beat Mike Tyson. I don't know if you remember this. If you're my age or older, you probably do. But do you remember Mike Tyson in his heyday? It would be like he's going to have a fight on Saturday night, and everybody would get pay-per-view. If you weren't ready and the fight started, you might not see it. And the reason why is because he was great at knocking the dude out in like the first 30 seconds. It's like if you're still in the kitchen getting a beer or making some popcorn or something, and you paid $50, which back then was a lot of money. I bet pay-per-view now is like $200 or something. But yeah, Yeah, the CEO says, my dad and the neighbors would get pay per view. Only time he ever had friends over, missed those days. Yeah, exactly, CEO. It was a big freaking deal, man. And I mean, this was like before everything was freaking pay per view. Okay, like this was before, WWE was pay per view. At least I don't remember. It was WWF back then, too, by the way. I don't remember that being pay per view. But he would knock this guy out in 30 seconds. And you just paid $50 and you didn't see diddly. So you just lost your money. Got a little bit of a run there. I don't like that. If that happens. Usually when you don't light it very good, that happens. But like I said, I think the cigarette was a little too wet. I mean, not cigarette. you could tell I used to smoke cigarettes. Yeah, this cigar I think was a little wet when I pulled it out. You want them to be wet. But yeah, so I want Mike Tyson to win just for old time's sake for me. Okay. Just for old time's sake. Because, after all, he is probably the best heavyweight puncher in my lifetime. Okay. And I'm pushing 50 years old. So I've been around for almost half a century. And I can tell you, I can't think of anybody that hit harder. Like, if he were to hit me in the side of my head, I'd just be dead. I would just die. Okay. Or if I was lucky enough to live, I'd probably be eaten through a tube and I'd be really goofy. And speaking of being goofy, let's talk about that for a minute. Because smoking a cigar is a man kind of thing. I don't know. Women can do it, but usually men, I find, are doing this. And another thing I find that men are doing recently, besides smoking cigars, is reverting back to their childhood. And this is not a good thing. Reverting back to their childhood. There's a saying out there that hard times make tough men make good times. Something like that. Good times make soft men make hard times. And that's where we are. I feel like men need now more than ever to grow a pair of balls. Secondly, to grow a tongue and some character behind the tongue. Okay. Some morality and some character, some backbone. And when I say that, I really literally mean it, because you have a right to speak. Whoever you are, you have a right to speak. But as far as men goes, I've noticed that men are acting more like they're in junior high school. And maybe you looking at me tonight saying, man, he's smoking a cigar and he's acting like a kid. Yeah, that's right. It's after midnight on Saturday. I'm acting like a kid a little bit. But here's the thing. Loyalty is a big deal. Putting other people first is a big deal. There are people counting on you. And if you want to act like you're in junior high school, you got no place helping anybody. Okay. So be a man, grow a spine, grow some character, and be a loyal individual. Okay. I've been where it was tight on money. I'll be real with you. Back in 2014, after I got unstupid again, I was broke as I could be, and you can't see the scar right here, but I used to donate plasma. Why did I used to donate blood plasma? Not my TV, not my plasma TV, my blood. Because I needed to pay child support. Because I needed to afford education. Because I needed to afford a better life and I had no other real quick options. That, my friends, is partly why I'm here today. Because I'm willing to do whatever I need to do to meet my responsibilities. Now, have I fallen down before and let people down? Absolutely. But there's something about being a man where you just have to give up that part of being a kid. The part that says it's hard and I give up. Nobody wants to help me. I get messages on the regular from people who are like, I can't afford any coaching. I can't afford any courses. I've spent money on courses. I've tried this, I've tried that, or I just heard about wholesaling last week and I want to do it and I can't afford anybody. Would you split deals with me? No. And you might be like, wow, you wouldn't do that? No, I would not do that. The reason why I would not do that is because I don't need to split deals. I paid the price. I paid my dues. I did what it took. I walked through the fire. I exchanged my own blood for oil so I could put gas in my car, so I could drive for dollars, so I could go see my child, so I could buy a McChicken sandwich and a small fry and a value drink at McDonald's for $3.50 and feed myself the first time I've eaten in 2 days. Yeah, I did all that. What are you willing to do? See, all of that's temporary. It feels so permanent until you pay the price. There's a price for everything. We live in a universe, and I don't care what they tell you on television about the government giving money or about somebody's going to fix the prices or somebody's going to do this or do that and make things easy for you or for your community or whoever it might be. It's all bullshit. And the reason why I know that is because you live in a universe just like I do where there are no free lunches. None. And you might be saying, well, wait a minute now. Free lunches? Yeah, there's free lunches out there. I've had a free lunch. I had a free chicken sandwich one time at the bank. They gave me a free hot dog. They gave me a free lunch. You know, for that free hot dog, that pig had to give its life. Some farmer had to cough up some money. Some bank had to cough up some money. Somebody somewhere had to cough up some money to pay for that pig. You had a chicken sandwich, great. You had an egg sandwich. That's probably the best food on the planet because nothing had to die for it. But here's the thing, if you had a chicken sandwich, that chicken gave its life. I went to a chicken joint the other day and we had wings. You know how many wings we had? Well, we bought an entree and had 8 wings on it. I don't know. I'm not good at math, but I'm pretty sure 4 chickens died. No free lunch. Somebody gave something. So you got to be willing to give something to get something. Now, that's I will say that about Jake Paul. There, I said his name. Jake Paul has given something, hasn't he? He's earned a shot at living the real life Nintendo Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Which, by the way, it was so hard for me to get past Piston Honda number 2 in that game. Piston Honda. I don't know if you guys remember Piston Honda. Tough character the second time around. Okay. Jake Paul has given something here. So he deserves a shot, right? I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Let's translate that into your life, though. He was a YouTuber, and now he's a top performing athlete. Top performing athlete. That's right. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this logo off of here so we can see these. Piston Honda number 2. What a name. Yeah. And who's the guy from India with the turban and the diamond? That was a tough one to beat, too. So, what are you willing to give, I guess, is what I'm asking. What are you willing to give? Are you willing to do the work? See, I can take somebody who knows nothing, but if they're willing to listen and follow directions, and they're willing to follow a simple recipe, that's all this is. This creative real estate stuff is just a simple recipe. If they're willing to follow a simple recipe, I can definitely, totally teach that individual what to do, what to say, to get the phone ringing, to have people message you and say, hey, I'm interested in leasing my property for 36 months and selling it during that time frame for my asking price or for full market value or close to full market value, sometimes even beyond full market value. That's what's so incredibly great about creative real estate. Is I don't have to have everything. I just need them to be flexible in one or two areas. Okay. So if they're willing to do that, I can create an opportunity to pull money out of thin air. The cigar is smoking good now. It's smoking good. It's nice. It's the longer you smoke a cigar, like the more rich it becomes, I find. And it's nice. But you see, I've been puffing on this for nearly an hour now. And I've been puffing on it hard. I've been hitting it hard. All right. Now I know some of you are like, hey, let's empty that thing out and make it a spliff. Help yourself. Okay. I would hit that with you too. But I like just a regular straight tobacco cigar as well. Speaking of which, did you know that the folks that roll these cigars, handmade, did you know that they practice for at least with a mentor 6 months before they can make anything of good quality? That's widely accepted as far as I understand it. And did you know that they stay with that mentor for at least 2 or 3 years, practicing their craft of rolling cigars before you actually get to smoke one, usually? But we live in a microwave society. Oh, nobody even uses a microwave anymore. We've got air fryers. Yeah, well, we've all got that stupid mentality that, hey, if I can't do it in the first time I try, then it's too hard. Yeah. That's why there are men and then there are boys. Even in the real estate business, there are men and there are boys. And the men know that nothing of real skill is created immediately. It takes time. So here's what I came to in my life. I decided in 2014, remember I said I had done some deals in 2005, between 2005 and 2010. But I got stupid and I didn't do any deals between 2010 and 2014. In 2014, it was like I set the house on fire. Okay. And I've been burning it ever since. And the reason why is because in 2014, I decided it was time for Mr. Justin to grow the F up. And what I mean by that is I decided that no matter what, I was going to do what my mentor said. I was going to say what my mentor told me to say. And I was going to prove that either he was right or he was wrong. Okay? Either he's right or he's wrong. One way or another. And I committed to a minimum of 2 years. A minimum of 2 years. Isn't that crazy? But instead of 2 years, it took me about 2 months to start getting deals. And how I got those deals, I teach in this book right here. I teach it in this book. How to get 3 to 5 deals a month with no money marketing techniques. No money marketing techniques. And I do have some folks that are texting me, and they have texted me. Thank you, Pat. And anybody else that's texted me so far wanting a free copy of that book, because I'm going to send that book to you. Text me, 816-875-6961. And you'll get the same advice that I was given in 2014. And if you start doing what I did and what I still do, and you start saying what I said, and I still say, actually, I've gotten better at it. In fact, I'm just going to say, and you can disagree with me if you like, but I just happen to believe that I am the best in the world this lease option conversation. In this particular book, I give you keywords to how to find deals online using Craigslist and other platforms like it. I give you the exact words to text them to find out if they're leads. And I give you the agreement to use to tie the deal down so that you can get all of it done and start to pull money right out of thin air yourself. There's a script in here for calling pretty houses and what to say. And if you now scripts are scripts, they don't always work. But if you internalize this script, you can do this. Okay. This book is the answers that I use still to this day to get deals every single month. Now, here's what's great. I've been doing this long enough that deals call me now. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? If you didn't have to work so doggone hard and you could just do deals, I think that's beautiful. And I think you could do it if you just had a little help, a little instruction. So I'm giving away this free book. So we're going to wrap up now. I've gotten down to the paper. Now you can take the paper off and smoke it more. And truly what I'm going to do is after we end this live stream, I'm going to take the paper off and I'm going to smoke it all the way down. I'm going to smoke it all the way down, baby. That's right. So you can definitely know that I'm going to wrap this up and go in the other room and finish this off sitting in front of my big ass screen TV. And yeah, that's a whole cigar, but it's like, it's been like an hour. See, I chilled out for a whole hour. I talked to my pals here. You guys are my buds, my bros. Okay. We talked about real estate. We shared a little bit about travel destinations, how affordable your dream life really is. That's right. You know what I don't know if you've heard this phrase. It was a big deal a few years ago. It was called the nouveau riche. And I think it's French, probably. Nouveau riche means the new rich. And the new rich isn't somebody that lives in an MTV Cribs house. It wasn't somebody that it's not having a yacht that's a 150-foot yacht. It's not, jet setting everywhere across the world at all times and having zero responsibilities in life. It's how do you become a good father, a good husband, a good man, and have your freedom. The nouveau riche is not about riches in my bank. It's about enough money to have freedom. Don't you want freedom? Isn't that what we all are craving? Isn't that really, as much as you agree or disagree with all of the voices that are on television, isn't that what really everyone is saying is freedom for me, for you, for everybody? No matter who you're listening to, isn't that what they're saying really? We long for freedom. It is a man trait. It's in the gene of a man to want freedom, to make his own decisions, to screw up his own life and to wreck it all and to rebuild it all again. Right, it is. That's the nouveau riche. And to be able to take mini retirements is what Tim Ferriss says in the 4-Hour Workweek. Mini retirements. Small retirements every so often, every couple months or every 3-4 months or twice a year, once a year, wherever you begin, to be able to create money out of thin air where you can make your own decisions, your own choices, and go do the things that you want. Like I said, I've been on 2 vacations this year already. I'm going to take at least 1 more, maybe 2. I don't know where exactly. I'm still thinking about that. But definitely the nouveau riche. That's right. I'm not Donald Trump. I don't have $10 billion. But what I do have is I have freedom. And you can have freedom too. So text me 816-875. It's on the board back here. 6961. I'll send you a copy of my free book here. It's not a free book, but it's going to be free to you. And you can get started building your freedom. Now commit to things. Hopefully what I said tonight kind of rang true with you, and you can commit to a couple years of actually doing what it says to do. And in doing that, create for yourself an opportunity to either A, prove me wrong, or number 2, most likely prove me right. Okay? Prove me right. And that's what I hope you do. I hope you prove me right. I've had a couple guys say to me recently when I've talked to them about they've been curious about lease options. How does it work, Justin? How do you make money? How do you create this life that you're talking about? And the life that I'm talking about, you create by doing the things that I'm talking about. Being a man, committing to it, and making it work for you, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap up. We've been going about an hour and 15 minutes now. I appreciate you guys staying up with me so late, being a part of the Midnight Mentor session. This is one of the most popular sessions I've ever done, ever in the history of all of the things that I've done on YouTube. I've got over 1,500 videos on YouTube, and some of the most popular videos have been filmed at midnight. So we're doing the Midnight Mentor. Thank you for being here. I love you guys very, very much. I'm proud of you for seeking. You're watching because you're seeking something. Okay. So text me your name and I'll send you a copy of my free book. And then let's plan on talking, you and me. Because there are some things that I can share with you that will help you get going, that will help you get past you. You realize that you are not a victim of anything in this world but yourself. You might say, oh, well, no, I'm a victim of this and that. Oh, yeah, that person screws me over. That person is screwing me over currently, or they did screw me over. Yeah. I've been there. I've got people that hate me. You know what? That's what they want to do. What I want to do is I want to live the nouveau riche. Okay? And I think you do too. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.